when you can easily just go, shut up, everybody. This is what we're going to do. And,
because you can't, because
we'll do nothing. We'll do nothing about it.
Well, I disagree. That's when you actually go and tell the people what you're about to do. If you tell somebody, hey, I'm going to blow your head off, they might move, or they might try to punch you in the face. They might try to take the gun.
The zillions of people in China don't do nothing about their awful
now
conditions.
They don't.
They just live it. They tell them, hey, don't have more than one baby, and they go, okay. And if you do, not only are we going to fine you, but we're going to put you in some prison and sell your organs and don't even hide it.
Well, have you seen? Well, first of all, a big reason, and they're the model, by the way. They were let into NATO right after 9/11. We gave them the Olympics. That's the model state. That's what's very scary. The police are the military there. You're guilty until proven innocent. I don't know if you've seen Walmart, the high cost of low prices, but I mean, oh my God. I mean, you literally have a family living in what should be a dorm room for maybe 2 people, family of 6 in there, and they're still having to pay $76 a month to live there, and they're making something like $140 a month, and if they don't want to live there, they still have to pay an even higher fee. It's absolutely ludicrous, and it's obviously a system of control. But here are the other 2 things that I think you're missing. Government organizations. When you build an organization up, such as, the China military, the people have no way to stop that. I mean, look what happened in Tiananmen Square. Those people were run over, they were shot. They don't have the force. They were disarmed by Mao. Okay, that was a big thing. Same thing with Hitler. It could have never taken over Germany that way unless they disarmed the populace first. Because people get angry.
So you're basically saying like a Second Amendment thing is
that's what it's there for.
You're saying now. So this is the next plan. So what are you looking at in terms of time-wise of this all coming to fruition? Like,
well, I would say
how
this.
long we got before
I say
no one has a gun and this and that and
Well, let's hope that we all have guns for a long time. But I think under this presidency, what you're going to see is what we saw this weekend. We've been predicting it all month. It's the emergence of a world currency. No matter all the denials that happened today, the G20 announced that the IMF was going to be printing up over $1 trillion. This is new money. This is a global super currency. This is a consolidation of power yet again. This is the IMF, the SEC, and the Federal Reserve becoming one entity under global government. In other words, giving more power to the United Nations as a world body. And then they all signed this big environmental protocol as well. So now CO2 becomes a viable way to trade credit systems. That's the whole Gore scam. We're the ones polluting the earth. I don't know if you've ever seen the Great Global Warming Swindle, but yes, climate change is real. Unfortunately, it's not us. And they're trying to make it seem like it's us. There's actually a video game out there for kids. I have a little niece. When I saw this, I was just disgusted. She's like 4 years old. And it was at ABC Planet Slayer. Yeah, Planet Slayer. We're killing the planet. And it basically had you answer all these questions, and it told you what your carbon footprint was and how long you should live on Earth. And then they had pigs next to you, and the size of the pig determined how much of a carbon pig you were. Yeah, I'm not. And then at the end of it, I'm not kidding you. Even if you answered everyone environmentally correct, you wouldn't have lived past 21 years old. Most people die at about 5 years old, and then the pig explodes into a bloody mess in this thing.
Because you're farting and you're driving a Jeep.
Yes, exactly, Patrice. And it's utter lunacy, and that's the next part. The one other subdivision I didn't talk about. I talked about think tanks and government organizations, but the other one is psychological warfare on the people. I mean, if you tell enough people not to ask a question, they won't ask it. If you tell enough people what product to buy, they'll get the iPhone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we are lemmings, man. I'm guilty too.
But do you think that everyone? Okay, now let's go to the media real quick though. And
Sure.
It's like, okay, if Fox or CNN or MSNBC or ABC, CBS, they tell us something, for essentially we believe it. Okay, but let's say everyone that listens to your broadcast, all right, is everyone that listens to your broadcast believe what you say? Meaning this: why isn't when people listen to, Jason Bermas, they listen to Alex Jones, they listen to all other people, why aren't people just immediately going, I believe that because it's news, as opposed to, I believe Bill O'Reilly because he says it, or I believe Anderson Cooper because he says it?
Well,
why is it so believable when those people say it and not when, let's say, what's the one, America Left, no, not America.
Air America?
The Air America or National Public Radio. Why is this the other side? Why is this the tinfoil hats? Why isn't this the news as opposed to Fox? You feel what I'm saying? Why is that? Why is this the alternative news? Why isn't this like, hey, listen, the Give Act is what it is. Hey, this G20 meeting is what it is. Why is this so secular? Why is this thing like have to be so? This is the conspiracy news.
Yeah.
It's some actual stuff going on. There's a lot of things you got to wrap your mind around to believe. But why don't people say that about Fox? Why is it so believable to people when Fox says something as opposed to you? Why is it such a fight? Why is it such a hard thing to believe that AIDS could be invented, man-made? I mean, yeah. I have the capacity to believe that. You know,
well, the evidence shows that.
I don't know. And here's the problem with me and conspiracies, Jason.
Sure.
Let's say Loose Change. I watched Loose Change.
Okay.
I watched Building Number 7 go down. Okay,
yep.
And it looks absolutely like a demolition. Absolutely, sure. To me. My thing is, do I believe that there's a group, bunch of construction workers, and this is the problem I had with Batman when it was on, is that someone built the Batcave. That means there's someone that had to keep quiet that the Batcave exists.
Who rigged the building?
So there's somebody that planted explosives and blew up those buildings and killed those people that are walking around. Some construction worker is
not who it is.
Around.
But that's the thing. That's not who it is.
Not telling you that this happened?
Yeah, but that's not who it is. See, that's the thing. That's all right. That's the straw man that they build. And I remember when I was on Opie and Anthony, and they were just hitting me with that, and I was trying to explain that it wasn't necessarily Controlled Demolition Incorporated or some U.S. company. I sent you a few movies. I don't know if you've gotten to see them, but Fabled Enemies, the last picture I did, which really just goes over the International Intelligence Organization and how they carried out 9/11. No controlled demolition, no Pentagon, no Shanksville, none of that stuff. Just who did it. And one of the things that isn't really brought to light is that there was a huge Israeli spy ring in this country. Now, Israel is just another proxy nation. It's just another part of this global international crime cartel, right? But they do carry out some of the strong-arm things. I mean, you look at Gladio, they were the ones setting off bombs in mosques and blaming on other people. They'll do things like that. They have done things like that. You look at, which one is it? The Liberty. I mean, where they went after a U.S. aircraft carrier. I mean, Israel is known for these kind of strong-arm techniques. So there's this huge Israeli spy ring that's in the United States. They get caught on 9/11 in several different areas. They got caught filming the first plane. Okay, they get caught there. Then two separate teams of people in vans get caught with explosives in them. Okay, and then you go into the paper and you find out that a bunch of them failed polygraph tests about what they did on 9/11, whether they had prior knowledge, they had connections to the hijackers, all these separate things. And then you find out a bunch of the hijackers were trained at U.S. bases, lived with FBI informants, had the CIA called on them, and nothing was done. So you're not really talking.
Now that's mind blowing stuff, right? How and
all of it's mainstream media, everything.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's all mainstream media. How is it that people don't get it when I say it? That they'll believe it?
Like what you just
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
If there's absolute irrefutable evidence that these things happened, how can the people just go, whatever?
Because they don't listen to it.
You know, it seems just amazing to me. You know what I mean? That people just go, whatever. Yeah.
But most people don't want to. All right, first of all, most people don't want to be involved in politics at all. They think it's a pariah, it's a leper. They just want to be able to watch, football, their favorite television show, The Simpsons, myself included. I love that show, and just go on with their life, right? So the thing is that they'll believe the mainstream talking head because he's on the same network as all that stuff. I'm not. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
They're already very susceptible to that information because they're already on their favorite network. Now, the way I am able to get around it is if I can get their attention for 90 minutes to 2 hours on a movie that has, my own interviews and take on it with a bunch of mainstream news clips. That's why Loose Change was such a success, because it made people think the unthinkable in less than 2 hours. You know what I mean? And people weren't going into that movie thinking, I think 9/11's an inside job. I mean, I didn't believe it. I mean, this was very tough for me. I'm from New York. I bought into the official version. It wasn't until about 6 months after that I really started to question things, and the more I found, the sicker I got. I don't want to believe this stuff, but it's right in your face. It's right out there, and it's like somebody has to speak up. So until we get over this, thing with celebrity, and we're totally obsessed with celebrity in this country. I mean, let's be honest. I mean that's why sometimes you have a career. I mean, you do that Web Junk 2.0. It's a fun show, but it's mindless.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm just a little old comic. Well, not little old, but I'm just
no,
comic
I hear you.
Be funny. And again, I have this side of me where it's a lot of this really it's mind blowing stuff. But I also have the thing where I gotta make some people laugh, and ultimately you gotta go, man. You gotta be independently wealthy to take on this thing. You gotta be in terms of you gotta have some money, because you can't really have a career in this game, in the game I'm in, if you're going around basically saying what
you're saying right now. Yeah, no, absolutely.
The truth is, there are some people who are going to be doing some dirty things to the world, and I don't understand why it's such a conspiracy atmosphere to some of the things that are being said. You don't have to agree with all of the things, but let's be honest. My thing, like about World War I, World War II, 9/11, and the Vietnam War. Let's not say, okay, I won't even say America did all the things that led up to that, the Lusitania, Pearl Harbor,